So there's a
still there.
couple of things I want to talk about here. The first
Yeah.
thing is you have mentioned that you're part of a really big family. So I do have one question about that, and then I really want to not implore, but at least let my viewers know, my audience, that there was no females at this time doing what you were doing. I just want that to
Right.
be very known that this band who took you in and kind of fostered you and taught you the business and brought you up and then you replaced Bobby Pounds. I mean, holy crap. And now you're touring the state. There were no other females at that time. I just want everybody to know
Right.
this because I have a
Right.
question about that in a little while. But I want to talk about the big family. And I'm an only child, so I have a lot of questions about that. I imagine as the seventh of eight children, you must be extremely competitive. And I want to know, number one, if you are indeed competitive. And number two, how has that served you well within your career over the years?
Well, to go back to your first point, there were no females touring the state like I was that were independent.
Right.
So that's the key right there, that we're truly independent. I did not have a record deal. I did not have a professional manager. I did not have a professional booking agent. I was doing all of it myself with the help of the band who had been doing it, training me on what to do. You know, I would call when I had a situation with the club owner and say, "What do I say to this guy? I don't
Mm-hmm.
know what to say to him." Before I call him back, and how to negotiate my pay.
Mm-hmm.
So
And it had to
Kelly
be
Willis
alien.
was,
It had to be alien for you too, trying to sell a female-fronted band in a
mhm.
time when none of those existed in this state. It had to be
Yeah,
difficult.
right. Well, what I was going on was women who had record deals. Like Kelly Willis is a Texas girl, and
Yeah.
she was touring the state of Texas at the same time, but she had a record deal, big time. She was
Mm-hmm.
with MCA, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong on that, but I think it was MCA. So she had this team behind her that was booking her, promoting her, setting up all the gear. So she got to show up, and I'm out there schlepping speakers
Mm-hmm.
and rolling chords and learning the behind the scenes of all the work that goes into a show, which has brought me to respect everyone involved
Mm-hmm.
in making a show happen. People think it's just walking on stage for me, and it is not.
No, I wish it was that
If
easy.
you if you could follow me around with cameras, you'd be like, all right. I've taken some young women under my wing over the years, and I've taken them on tour with me. And even after I've had kids, I've taken them on tour with my kids in the band, and they're like, "Oh my gosh, this is insane! This is crazy! This is so much work!"
Yep.
Like, yeah, you really have to love what you do if you want to pursue this type of career.
Yep.
Because no matter if you have a label or not, you're going to run into these tough times. You're going to run into hard things. And like my friend Rachel Stacy says, you can do hard things.
Mm-hmm.
You have done hard things, Pauline. You can do hard things. I was like, yes, I can. I can do this. Um, so the back to the family and how that applies to what I've done. Yes, I'm highly competitive, extremely competitive. My dad put us against each other in games all the time, and I think it was a good survival tactic.
Yeah.
That's what I would say.
Yep.
Hmm.
I could see that for sure being a benefit for you as an artist, especially an independent artist, where just dogged tenacity is going to see you through a lot of the tough days. I imagine just from, having to get to the dinner table first to get the good piece of steak. You know what I mean?
Right, right. Well, it the competitive side, but also my dad taught us a lot of survival skills. He spent a lot of time with us on things like that. So did my mom. That was very important to them to have us be educated in a lot of different areas of our lives. And so, not only that, but marketing. My dad loved marketing, it was one of
Mm-hmm.
his favorite things. And so, I was doing marketing when I was a little kid. I remember he had my little brother and I. um, start up a candy store in the house. So what he did was he came home from work one day and he had these two big paper sacks. He was like, "Hey kids, come in here." And so we were like, "Yeah." And he said, "You two. All right, you two little ones. This is for you." And he dumps it out and it was full of candy bars.
Wow.
Different kinds of candy bars. And we were like, "What is happening? Is this Christmas?" It's amazing. He always loved shock value. He said, "You're going to start your own candy store, both of you, and you're going to compete against each other on who can sell more candy.
Amazing.
And at the end of the month, you know, whoever wins gets whatever, right?"
Hmm.
So we had to sell the candy to our brothers and sisters and our mom and dad. And so we had set up, like, we had, I set up some shelves, nice. We set up displays. He had his display and I had mine. And then we'd like write out posters like, "This week on sale, Reese's, only 25 cents."
That's
So then
amazing.
he'd be like, "That's not fair. This week on sale, Reese's, 23 cents."
That's
You know?
amazing. I love
So
it.
that was my first experience of like marketing and competition. So now I find myself loving marketing. I really do enjoy it. And I think my most fun with marketing is getting people, letting people inside my life on who I really am, because I think that authenticity is really important and it's lost in our
Hmm.
day and time.
And especially, I was just going to say that, especially today where you have instant access to so many people right away. And,
Mm-hmm.
I just talked to somebody who's a big music industry executive in Nashville. And I asked him what his strategy was in social media because he's a social media guru. So I was like, I need to know. And his advice
Mm-hmm.
was it's a tool and use it to tell your story. Whatever your story is, that's what your social media should be for. Not to promote or market or, it's
Mm-hmm.
always good for that as well. But people follow your social media because they want to hear your story. And so I
Mm-hmm.
love you're talking about being so personable because that's what makes you you, and that's amazing stuff. But anyway, I wanted to share that with you.